I didn't intend to shoot a video, but I wanted to comment on something that came up in a call. I was taking some time off and I was having a call with a client. And there's this feeling of uncertainty that's occurring right now in luxury. There's the political tensions, there's the tariffs on an already burdened category when we talk about fashion. There's this feeling of question about what's going to come next. So if you're in luxury, whether you're in a big brand or a small brand, I have some thoughts that I want to share with you. My name is Andre Taylor, and on this channel we explore luxury, premier living, and prosperity. Now, if you're a client advisor involved in luxury, or if you're a luxury entrepreneur, if you work in any capacity within luxury, you're going to find a lot of value on this channel. And if you are just a luxury enthusiast, you are going to find a lot of value, because we talk a lot here about what's going on in luxury behind the scenes, some of the strategies associated with enjoying luxury and making luxury available, and some of the nuances of luxury beyond the physical thing, the psychology of luxury, the idea behind, as I mentioned, premier living. So what's happening right now? There is this mood, and it's a global mood. I'm feeling it when I talk to clients around the world. There's political tension, there are tariffs, there are rising prices, there's uncertainty. So there's a lot going on in the market, and if you are inside of luxury, you're probably wondering, how do I respond to this, or what should I be doing? Every industry is connected, and luxury is a great example of that. You've got your hard goods, you've got your soft goods, you've got your high jewelry, you have your fashion items, you've got your automobiles, you have homes, you have real estate, travel, services, your white goods, your appliances. So there are so many things that are integrated. Particularly when you think of a person's home, how they live, what kind of car do they drive, what do they put in the refrigerator, what kind of refrigerator do they have, where do they go on vacation, what is the quality of their home, what is the quality of their entertainment. And when you look at the luxury sector, many people think of only the physical things, but there's a whole psychology, because it's driven by the way we live. And of course, in the luxury sector, while we think of luxury as something that's for someone who is affluent and wealthy, of course it is, it's also enjoyed by an aspirational audience. So what happens when the climate shifts, and how does that aspirational audience respond? And how do you respond as a luxury brand, as a luxury provider, as a luxury entrepreneur? So much of luxury is enjoyed by an aspirational audience. There have been some figures that have surfaced about that of late, and it surprises many people what percentage of luxury purchases are tied to the aspirational audience. One large luxury group recently said that we're going to focus really on our core luxury buyer. And they were implying that the core luxury buyer is the high net worth buyer. It's the person who can buy luxury at any level without regard to price and concern about disruption in the market. Well, good luck with that. Because there is such a large base of stores and infrastructure, salespeople, and so many things that are created to support the aspirational client, that if the aspirational client does not feel comfortable, and if the aspirational client is holding back, it is going to impact the sector. Now, one of the things that we've seen recently is the whole idea of raising prices so that, well, we can make up for a lack of volume by raising prices. Well, what many brands are seeing is a resistance to high prices because the aspirational audience is living with this climate that we spoke about a moment ago. So I want you to keep that in mind. The climate connects multiple components of the luxury sector, multiple products, multiple services, big luxury, small luxury, globally, multiple brands. And so even though you might think on the surface that luxury goes untouched, it doesn't go untouched. When there is uncertainty in the marketplace, there is concern in the luxury sector. So why am I saying all this? Well, one reason is that luxury brands have to become more entrepreneurial, particularly in this environment. Now, I have for a long time talked about the luxury entrepreneur and the importance of the understanding of entrepreneurship in luxury. But I'll tell you, this is a climate where every brand feels that. If you work for a big brand, what you're going to find is during this period, there will be greater demands on you as a sales professional, as an advisor, as a director, as someone who runs a store. And those demands will go beyond selling and meeting your quota and bringing in numbers. It will involve you doing more than you normally do. I've heard this from several client advisors at large brands. Not only that, there will be additional pressure on you to perform, to bring in those numbers, to reach out to clients, to get people back into the store to buy. So even though luxury brands will perhaps not show it, they will feel the pressure during these times because everyone has to do more and everyone has to perform better. Now, if you run a small luxury brand, let's say you have a small company and there's 2 of you, 3 of you, 4 of you, you're going to feel this. Now, hopefully you've always been entrepreneurial. You're always thinking about connecting with the client. You're always thinking about who else you can bring in and how else you can service them. But I say that in this environment, both large and small luxury are thinking about being more entrepreneurial. This is a phrase that is going to be more relevant than ever before. Being entrepreneurial inside of a luxury brand. Now, I want to get back to this idea of the small luxury brand, because I'm always talking about the importance of being scrappy as a small luxury brand. But this is an environment where you should be thinking about that every single day. Who am I going to reach out to? Who am I going to follow up with? Who have I not heard from in a long time? The question is, who needs what you have to offer? And I want you to remember that we have different levels of needs. We have physiological needs, we have safety needs, we have needs of belonging, we have needs of love and security and purpose. I mean, these are, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And we have those needs irrespective of what's going on in the economy. So remember those needs. And I'm going to give you some specific things that I want you to think about as you move forward. If you're wondering what to do, I want you to think of the 4 C's. Now, I'm not talking about the 4 C's of jewelry. I'm talking about the 4 C's of a diamond. I'm talking about the 4 C's of an environment like this. Connection, consistency, comfort, certainty. When you connect with your clients on this level, They know you're there. They know who you are. They will respond to you. And we do things as human beings to feel those feelings. It doesn't matter what's going on. We're seeking those things. So often when we buy something, we're buying it for those reasons. And that's what I want you to lean into in this environment. 4 C's. Uh-oh, I'm running out of battery power. So remember those 4 C's and take a look at this message.